In that case, let's do it.
I was born to live, live to ride, ride to live. I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite. And that's the deal. I was born to ride.
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
To see him in the wild like this.
For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
For more of Motor, subscribe now.
I'm Clyde.
And you're watching
Born to Ride. And cut. That'll work.
Geez, tell that guy to speak English, will ya?
Was that you?
Well, he did say cut.
Yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another fine edition of Born to Ride Radio. I'm Dave the Flashman Morgan, Woo-hoo. And that guy on the screen next to me there would be the Chopper Daddy, Dave Nichols, our editor-in-chief here at Born to Ride. How are things out west, my friend?
It's a little bit hazy out here.
Yeah.
All these fires going on right now.
Yeah.
But all is well, and hey, I got to say something right up the bat here.
Yeah.
That footage we just saw of the people flying through the air
Yeah.
with motorcycles with sidecars.
Yeah, I was going to throw a sidecar on my bike and see if maybe you wanted to try that. Of course, you could be in the sidecar making a sandwich.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, I've actually done that and made a sandwich before, so I'm up for it.
While flying through the air at 900 miles an hour? Come on, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that once.
Oh, my God. Yeah, once. Once would be the key right there.
I can do that once.
Yeah,
That's right.
without a doubt. Oh my gosh! Hey, I believe this is a third week. We're on with the fine folks, the Chopper Town Facebook. So thanks to those guys for allowing us to broadcast and spread our broadcast wings about the nation. Dave Nichols, I'm telling you right now, it's been amazing. How many folks have tuned in and are digging the show, man.
Yeah, we're worldwide all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
I love it. Absolutely love it. So, here in the Southeast, in the Tampa Bay areas where we broadcast from, in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater Beach area, we are happy to say that we had a crazy little phenomenon that we thought was going to happen either tonight or tomorrow, where we were going to have two major hurricanes out in the Gulf of Mexico just off our coast. But fortunately, it has bypassed us here in the Tampa Bay area. But our thoughts and our prayers are going out for the folks up around the Louisiana-Texas border to stay safe as this storm is got all of the ingredients to become something pretty catastrophic. So if you're listening to us there, get out, Dave. Get out. You're not there, are you, Dave?
Yes. No, I'm in Oregon, and I want to tell you, same thing. My heart goes out to all those people in California that are dealing with the fires right now.
Yes, gosh, my brother, who worked for many years on the Days of Our Lives soap opera, lives out there at a place called I haven't been out there, but it's called La Crescenta. You're probably familiar with that. And
yeah, absolutely.
He sent me a text message, like a screenshot of his weather report, and they were saying something. The air isn't fit to breathe. Stay inside. So yeah, man. So prayers and thoughts to you guys out there. Certainly stay safe. Stay safe out there as well, man. It is just a crazy time that we're living in with all these crazy things, and of course the COVID and everything that's going along with that. So, you guys, please stay safe, and all that goes along with it, man. So, the Born to Ride magazine here to Southeast and the Florida Tampa Bay area has been flying off the shelves. If you haven't had a chance to get yours, Dave, give us a little preview of some of the cool things that are in this month's edition.
Well, right on the cover, we've got Rick Fairless,
the
world's famous Rick Fairless bike builder and owner of Strokers Dallas.
Yeah.
And Rick's our biker legend of this month.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
With his psychedelic motorcycle.
He's got a psychedelic taste, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves anything that's psychedelic. All of his clothes are tie-dyed, man.
I wonder if he even got into it. It looked like he could be on like one of the Austin Powers movies, or maybe and go right back to the disco era for a while.
Yeah, well, Rick had that TV show on Texas Hardtails, it was called.
Right.
And it's all about running a bike shop, and his place, Strokers Dallas, is not only a bike shop, but it's a biker bar. It's like the ultimate biker hangout.
Right.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So what else?
What
else?
We've got a David Maan tribute Triumph that we'll be hearing about here on the show in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Jared Weems of Weems Motor Company put together a Triumph that looks exactly like one that was painted by David Maan. And, of course, David Maan is the Norman Rockwell of the biker lifestyle.
Right.
So, people have loved Dave's work for years and years. He started out, I think it was around 63.
Right.
He did his first painting called Hollywood Run.
Wow.
And it was in Chopper magazine, which was owned by Ed Big Daddy Roth at the time.
Right.
And then he came to Easy Riders. David Maan answered an ad in the back of Easy Riders.
Yeah.
And since 1971, he painted hundreds and hundreds of paintings of the biker lifestyle.
Very cool. Very cool. That's great stuff. And we do have a segment on Dave Maan coming up here in the show. Also coming up a little bit later on, my good friend Mica Neal is stopping by the show. We've got a local run here that is called Back the Blue. Big charity ride for a great cause. I mean, anytime we can support, whether we're in California or in Tampa Bay or in Clearwater or in Louisiana, wherever we happen to be, it's always great to be able to support our local law enforcement, and we've got a great charity run for a great cause. We're going to get in on some of the details towards the end of the show here, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, we talk about it, Nefarious James, that's our boy right there, and I'm going to tell you right now, Nefarious, you talk about the epitome of a badass old-school biker. He's the man with a master plan. He walks in the room, he demands attention, but the guy is an amazing rider. He's amazing at getting his words across to where you feel what he's talking about. And, in last month's edition for the July, it was about our American flag and what he felt on that, and it was so powerful. It certainly caused a movement, and you got a chance to sort of preview even before this month's edition. But if you haven't seen it, you got to get online at borntoride.com if you haven't got your hands on a copy of the magazine yet and read Nefarious James' latest. And amazing again. And it moved you, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah, I'll tell you something. If you want to go to borntoride.com and hit the magazine button, you'll see the whole issue is there for you to read.
Oh, yeah.
And in this particular one, he talks about, how important it is for us all to get out there and vote.
Yeah.
He's talking about that this month.
Yeah.
And he says, he goes, knowledge is power. Use that power, change the world in a way that gives our children that power as well.
Why not? You got to do it.
Ignorance is rampant right now. He says it's never been more evident with our education system has failed.
Yeah.
And never has it been more evident that we failed as a society to take our country's destiny by the root and put her back on track the way Americans used to.
Get this train back on the track.
His whole thing is to get out there and vote, because he says freedom isn't free. Register to vote and get your voice heard.
And, folks, there are a lot of men and women that have put their lives on the line, have given their lives so that we have these freedoms, and you never want to forget that. And he does a great job of reminding folks about that in pretty much everything that he reads. So we've got some great stuff. Again, magazines have just been flying off the shelf, so if they're not where you normally find them, be looking for them. They're going to be restocking the shelves and getting those things out to you. And, again, if you haven't got one, by all means, hit borntoride.com and flip through the digital copy. It's pretty doggone convenient. Going to take us a quick break. We're going to talk a little bit more about things in the magazine. Again, we got that Dave Maan feature coming up. We've got a great clip from Jason Momoa in this clip, and we're back with more Born to Ride Radio right after this.
Every day, we face challenges. But behind any obstacle can be a fresh start. Hope has given us the strength to move forward. It's that spirit that's carried us throughout the highs and the lows. dreams were never put on hold. It's why we've continued to hustle to finally plan that epic road trip. The one we've held in our hearts for all these years. Or to put aside our next adventure in life to save someone else's. Through it all, we've discovered what really matters. And we've become closer than ever before. Our next chapter might start with small steps. New roads we've waited patiently to explore. Or the familiar ones that take us home. We'll roam on its limitless landscapes and hug every bend. The road will always lead us back to exactly where we are supposed to be. We may dream of the destination, but the real reward is the journey. United we will ride.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Jared Weems from Weems Motor Co.
Jared, how you doing today, man?
Wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great here at Boss Hog Radio, Born to Ride right here, man. We're talking to Eric Runyon, photographer extraordinaire, and one of our marketing guys in the office, and he told us about your story. And Eric came out and took pictures of your project. Now, your charity is Forgotten Angels, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir. Forgotten Angels, they're a local nonprofit based out of Valrico, Florida, which is just on the south side of Brandon. And what they do, what their mission is they take in kids who have aged out of the foster care system. Basically, the state of Florida provides funds for families who take in kids that are foster kids and provide some financial assistance to take care of them. But the problem is once they reach the age of 18, the state of Florida looks at them as an adult and they stop the funding. And unfortunately, a lot of these families are only fostering for the financial benefit, and that's a sad thing to really think about. So when the funds stop, they basically kick these kids out on the streets. Some of these kids haven't even graduated high school yet. They don't have jobs. They don't have transportation of anything, and all of a sudden they're left out essentially to fend for themselves with no life skills. And so what Forgotten Angels does is they bring these kids in. I call them kids. They're 18-year-old. They're considered an adult, but they bring them in. The first thing they do is they give them a place to sleep. They have a 12-acre property there in Valrico where they have little tiny homes built for these kids, and they give them a place to lay their head. They get some food in their belly, and they start walking this path with them to either graduate high school, get their GED, to get a job, or just, basic life skills that we all have learned as, having parents to teach us, basic things like setting up a bank account, how to, write a check, how to manage money, how to do a job interview. And so they bring these kids in and they, really help them, give them a chance to get on their feet.
That is, that's awesome. And we've heard about Forgotten Angels. I think we did an event with them years ago, Brandon Harley Davidson. And actually you're involved with the, a guy who they did a movie on, right? Quentin with The Blind Side?
Yeah. So amazing story. Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side movie with Sandra Bullock and I always forget the country singer's name. But yes, so Quentin was the main actor in the movie where he played a boy who became homeless, and this family brought him in and adopted him. But on the real life, Quentin has a big passion for what Forgotten Angels are doing, and he's kind of come alongside of them as one of their national spokesperson.
And Quentin was involved in this other event, and I think it was Forgotten Angels as well. We got to interview him for Born to Ride. Larger than life, great guy, big teddy bear, and a great actor as well. Dave Maan only painted a few Triumphs. Is that right?
Yeah, so kind of the process with the bike that came up was I was active duty in the military for 16 years, and I developed a brain tumor. And in this time of this brain tumor, I essentially sold everything that I had, like to do with motorcycles, because I didn't know if I was going to live a day or a year or what. And so I got rid of everything. And in that time, I had a good friend, a local, what I call a gray bearded biker guy, a good friend of mine. His name is Mike. He came by and he gave me this old David Maan painting. Well, it was a centerfold out of a magazine. And I just kind of dropped my jaw, because I'm really huge into Triumph motorcycles, especially the vintage ones is really where, I find my passion. And in this centerfold was a pre-unit Triumph motorcycle, and it was painted by David Maan. And I was just floored. I was like, I never knew that David Maan had ever done any Triumphs at all. And that kind of started this weird process for me, man. I started getting online and looking up every single Easy Rider magazine, Iron Horse magazine that David Maan had a centerfold in. And then I realized that he only painted 2 in his whole career with working with those magazines. And funny enough, the very first one he painted was in his very first painting that Ed Roth had shown to the guys over at Easy Rider magazine. It was about third motorcycle back in the stack. The painting's called Hollywood Run. And so the motorcycle, it's barely hard to tell that it's even a Triumph, other than it being a parallel twin motor. And so that was his first one. And then the second one was, featured in July of 1983 in Iron Horse magazine. Is actually who it's through, but that's when, Easy Riders were the publishers for Iron Horse. So, but yeah, so that.
So you recreated this motorcycle, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got the painting and I was like, man, this is incredible. And then a good friend of mine, Mike Davis, who is the organizer for Born Free Show out in California, I put out an invite to have a Triumph pre-unit class only for the Born Free this year. And I said, what greater opportunity to build a bike now that I've kind of worked through the brain tumor period and seizures and stuff. And I said, I'm going to recreate this motorcycle that David Maan dreamed up. It was never really a real motorcycle. And so I, went to work trying to find a lot of those rare parts that was on the bike. But he did such an amazing job. I mean, everybody knows his paintings. They're just immaculate. And the amount of detail that he put into this motorcycle made it easy, but also challenging to recreate what he painted.
So tell us about that day when you debuted it, and what was that day all about?
Literally days before we decided that, hey, we're going to do this unveiling because the bike's completed. We want to kick off the raffle. A local friend of mine, he's a YouTuber. His name is Shade Tree Surgeon. His name's Josh.
Yeah.
He put together a ride last minute, and we literally had over 40 motorcycles from all across Florida come to Ybor City and do a ride over to Little Valrico, Florida to see, a motorcycle that, I built. And it was great because that one day kicking off the raffle, it was amazing to see the support, number one, from the people who were there, but to see the ticket sales start coming in. It was just like a very, very humbling experience to be part of that and to help, Forgotten Angels out. I brought it out to Forgotten Angels property, and I wanted to unveil the bike there because of the relationship that I've built with their organization and also with the boys that work there. Halfway through this build, I was probably about 75% completed on the build, and the motorcycle was gaining a lot of traction. I had reached out to several people within the motorcycle industry to find out, number one, which actual magazine that the motorcycle was featured in, because I only had the centerfold, and I did see the Iron Horse logo down there. So I did my detective work and ended up getting in touch with Ellen Teresi, who actually owns the original painting. And so I was talking with her, told her what I was doing, and she got me in touch with Jackie Mann, and I've had opportunities to email back and forth with her. And so I realized quickly that this motorcycle meant a lot more to the motorcycle community as a whole than it just did to me to recreate, something from, a painting. And that's when I said, it's bigger than me. I can take the opportunity to really pay this forward. The whole, initial point was to build the motorcycle and just sell it because the huge investment that it takes to build a show bike. And so I was just kind of thinking through the process, and somebody had connected me with Forgotten Angels, and I found out what they're doing out there for these kids. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to donate the motorcycle to them, and we're going to, raise as much funds as we possibly can to help them in their endeavors. And it's been amazing. So that's why we did the unveil there. I had some of the boys who actually helped me work on the motorcycle. I brought them over, and they did some polishing, they did some assembly, and it was cool to take that moment to build a connection with them and build relationships with them, because you never know who these kids are going to be. One of these kids might turn out to be the next David Maan. They might turn out to be the next Arlen Ness. We never know exactly what our investments are going to pay out to be in the future. So I wanted to make it a part to them because they played such a big part in it for me. They gave me inspiration to, just even the investment that I've made, just to donate it to them and say, hey, let's make this worthwhile. And I think, this process is going to be amazing for them. I last week, Tracy Scott, which is David Maan's daughter, reached out to me and said, hey, thank you for what you're doing. You may not have known, but we lived in Clearwater, Florida for a while, and my dad actually adopted a son there. And I was like, man, I didn't know the connection, with me working with a foster system and David Maan actually adopting. That just, kind of goes together and says,
wow,
his heart is my heart.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
just to help kids, man, that's where I'm at. I could care less what accolades this gets for me. I don't care. I'm going to work on triumphs. I'm going to build triumphs on my own because that's what I love to do. But to push it forward for these kids, man, that's where it's at for me. So if you're interested in the raffle, there's several prizes that are part of this raffle. Obviously, the grand prize winner is going to receive the motorcycle, which is a 1952 Triumph Speed Twin. I've just nicknamed it the David Maan replica. And they're going to receive print number 1, the only one on canvas of the painting of David Maan. Easy Riders and Aaron Teresi and the Maan family have decided to re-release the print. It was never available for purchase in print. This is the first time only, but they're releasing a limited edition number of prints, and the winner will get print number 1 on canvas. The second place winner is going to receive a Biltwell helmet that's been painted to the same color scheme as the motorcycle that was generously donated by Bill from Biltwell. Third place is a $500 Lowbrow Customs package. My buddy Tyler from Lowbrow Customs has donated that. And then the fourth place winner is going to receive a David Maan official store package with some of his memorabilia and then some of my T-shirts and hats and stuff. So those are the four prizes. The tickets are only $25 a piece. If they want to make a generous donation of $100, they're going to receive a bonus ticket, so they'll receive 5 tickets at $100.
Awesome.
And then the tickets can be purchased right through my website. That's www.weemsmotorco.com. Weems is W-E-E-M as in Mike, S, and then the word motor, M-O-T-O-R, and then C-O.com. So once you get on the website, you'll see right at the very top there's a tab that says raffle. You click on that. It'll give you all of the details, all of the prize packages and everything, and there's a button that says buy tickets, and you just click on that. It'll take you right into the raffle site.
Well, Jared, you have an amazing story.
Jared, before you go, is there a website where we can get information for the Forgotten Angels?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. If they're wanting to make just a direct donation, I know certain corporations are not able to purchase raffle tickets. You can go to www.forgottenangelsflorida.org, and they have a donation tab there. And just one other note, just a cool factor is we're going to be going to the David Maan Show, which is Chopper Fest out in California in December. And while we're there, we're actually going to be recreating the painting into real life. We're going to the hot dog stand that's in the painting. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to just kind of bring the painting into life.
Wow, that's cool.
We want to be there, and document anything we can do to help magnify your greatness and everything you're doing for the kids and our future of America. And thank you for your service, too, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I thank you guys for having me out tonight.
All right,
Thank you, Jared.
Good job.
All right, we'll follow up.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, guys. Bye.
Wow, what an amazing piece, Dave. Honest to goodness, man. The canvas, they kept flipping back from that canvas paint to the actual bike. I mean, he built the replica. That is amazing.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you what was interesting about David Maan is a lot of times he would, exaggerate the look of a chopper,
right,
on purpose.
Right.
He would exaggerate and or the ape hanger,
Uh-huh.
or high bars,
Right.
or sissy bar,
right,
and then real, bike builders would try to duplicate the painting.
right.
And so he had a lot to do with making, custom motorcycles look the way that they did.
Right.
That make choppers look the way they do.
Yeah.
Is because of, his art.
And did I hear him say that was a 1952?
Yeah, that's an old Triumph. And David hardly ever painted Triumphs. I think he only painted 2 in his whole career.
Is that right?
It was mostly Harleys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he started out, in the early '60s. He had a 1948 Panhead,
Right.
and he did this painting that he called Hollywood Run, and he took it to the Kansas City Custom Car Show.
Right.
So the painting was on display, and his bike was on display.
Right.
And this one percenter friend of his named Tiny took the painting to Ed Roth, to Ed Big Daddy Roth.
Yeah.
And Ed bought the painting for like $85.
Wow.
And that started David's career.
I'll be darned. Well, amazing, amazing artwork, but just even more that Jared Weems was able to recreate that bike. I mean, you can't even. You would think it would be the opposite the way it looks. That he painted the paint off of the bike, but I mean, to think about that for a second is pretty cool. That he built the bike from looking at the painting.
Right.
And that'll be cool when they go. I think I heard him say they're going to actually going to that hot dog stand and recreating that photo. That'll be awesome.
Well, yeah, they literally will be doing that.
Yeah.
You're going to see that out at Dave Maan Chopper Fest.
Yeah.
In Ventura, California.
Yeah.
They'll have the hot dog stand and everything.
That is going to be so cool, man. I would love to be a fly on the wall out there just to see all the folks taking the photos and taking the pictures and just seeing all that. I love to see stuff like that recreated. I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he did such a good job with that. And the fact that it's going to a charitable organization, the Forgotten Angels, it's all just amazing.
Great stuff, the Forgotten Angels. And don't forget, we've got all that information if you want to make a donation on the Born to Ride website, borntoride.com, along with so many other things, folks. So much you can check out. Again, if you haven't got your hands on the latest magazine, it's there. All of the back issues are there. I'm telling you, everything that you want. The Born to Ride Biker Babes are all there. The Born to Ride Kids are there. It's just amazing. It's just a plethora of information, Dave. I love you when I can use the big words like that, too. Plethora.
Oh, yeah. How about that? A plethora, everybody.
A plethora of information. Hey, don't forget, still to come, we're going to talk to my good buddy Mica Neal. He's in the house. He's in the green room right now. Back to Blue is a local charity run that helps, the folks in blue. You know who I'm talking about. And we'll find out all about that. We've got more Born to Ride Radio coming up next. Don't move.
All right. Hello, Dave.
Welcome back,
Hi,
Dave.
everybody.
Dave, I mean, you've been around the man in the office, creating, dealing with, getting the stuff. Let's get right into it, man. Easy Riders in the office at the helm, and dealing with Dave Maan's pictures coming in for each month in the magazine. How cool was that?
Oh, it was an amazing time to be there and to be friends with David and Jackie. And we had so many great times. And, Dave's favorite saying was, "Don't let the bastards get you down." That's how he lived his life. And he started out, his first painting of the motorcycle culture was in 1963. And that was a painting called Hollywood Run. And what Dave did is he took that painting and his customized panhead, and he went to the Kansas City Custom Car Show. And he was hoping to show off the bike and the painting. And he met a 1%er there, a great big guy named Tiny, and they became best friends. Well, Tiny decided that his paintings were too good, that the world needed to see these paintings. So Tiny actually got in touch with Ed Big Daddy Roth, who's, of course, the famous car customizer, and he was the father of Rat Fink and the publisher of Choppers magazine. Well, Ed bought the painting for $85, and that's how David Maan got started doing paintings of the biker lifestyle. He went on to do 10 more paintings for Roth, and then in 1971, he saw an ad way in the back of Easy Riders magazine. It was an ad for artists and cartoonists and illustrators and things like that. And he got a job with Easy Riders magazine doing his beautiful artwork of the biker culture. And they started in the magazine with issue number 3. And he had been in Easy Riders and in Biker magazine for years and years and years. He did over 300 biker lifestyle paintings in those times. And of course, everybody knows that he had this knack of finding the essence, of the riding experience and the lifestyle that we all love. And they all came from personal experience. A lot of these people in the paintings were people that he knew and were friends with over the years, And so, yeah, David, in the late 70s and early 80s, there were a lot of motorcycle customizers that would look at Dave's paintings in Easy Riders magazine and then they would take a look at much like our friend Jared, they would take a look at a bike and then decide they were actually going to build the bike. Well, David would exaggerate things on the motorcycle just to make it look cool in the painting. So he would exaggerate the rake of the bike's frame, or the length of the front end, or a tall sissy bar, or ape hangers, or really high, wild, crazy exhaust pipes, just for artistic effect. But the builders would actually create the bikes that David drew, and so in a way he was one of the fathers of the custom chopper design as we know it today. And then in November 1983 issue of Easy Riders, there was a painting that David did that is called The Ghost Rider, which has forever captured the hearts of bikers all over the world. It shows a righteous chopper rider who's jamming down the desert somewhere in the Southwest, and riding just off to the left of him and out of his sight is the ghostly spirit of a Pony Express rider. And there's something about that painting. It caught the inspiration and the imagination of a whole generation of Harley-Davidson riders, and the rest pretty much is history. Hundreds of paintings, and David Maan really changed the biker world. You know, we think of the essence of the biker world and the paintings that were up in all of our garages. I know they were up in my garage. And that's who David Maan was.
Well, Dave, I've seen the Ghost Rider on murals on buildings and bike shops, and that's the essence of this. But to be a part of that, I mean, were you there when the paintings came in, or the pictures came in, and you got to place them in the magazine, and the power of that? I mean, how much did that magnify Easy Riders? I remember all those dudes have the black beards and the gloves and the long hair pushed back, and they always had the chicks on the back, and they were just the coolest pictorials of biking lifestyle, like you said.
It's really true. We would unwrap these things when they would come in the mail to us. Each one was it was like the Holy Grail. We'd open up the package, and these were not big paintings, folks. These paintings were actually the size of a 2-page spread in a magazine. That's how small they were. And so you could really appreciate the detail, because he airbrushed a lot of this stuff.
Wow.
And and he would call up and he'd go, I kind of need an idea for the next painting. Really? Really, Dave? He goes, yeah, I've pretty much run out of ideas. And so you could actually say, well, what about this? And then he would do a little drawing of it, and you'd go, oh, that's awesome. And he would send you this finished painting, and that alone was amazing. And I'll tell you a great story about David Maan. We were in Milwaukee, and it was for the 100th Harley-Davidson anniversary. And I remember Keith Ball told me, now, don't spend a lot of money on rental cars, because, I got the biggest, blackest Lincoln Town car I could find, because it was going to shuttle around David Maan and Jackie Maan. And I was the driver, and they were in the back. And I said, no, we're not getting a little Toyota Camry. We're getting a big black monster car, right? And so, we went from the airport in that car. Way out in the middle of nowhere is where they put us. I don't know why, because most everything was happening right in the middle of town. Well, out near where we were, there was a bar. And this bar was a biker bar. And I can't remember the name of it or who owned it or anything like that. All I know is we stopped there, we went in, and friends, there were David Maan paintings on every wall in this biker bar. And it was like walking in there with God. Here, the owner was like, I'm not worthy. He was bowing before, and David Maan was there, and he was signing the pictures on the wall.
Awesome.
Well, needless to say, none of us bought a drink all night.
the images, but it was more of setting a tone for a lifestyle of so many bikers and real bikers and the bikers of tomorrow that looked at that today. You know, it's something everybody remembers, and it's pretty impressive or impactful when you have that type of surrounding. You know, that you've been a part of that. Actually, today I talked to a guy named Beatnik, and you know, he was part of that office too at Dean Schaller, because he was telling us when they moved, Joe moved David Maan's work over to Biker Magazine.
That's right.
And Rip went over there with him too. He said it was a turbulent time, so he referred to some of that. But he said that you guys would like have a ceremony when the Dave Maan pictures would come in. They'd almost break out candles and have a seance or something. You know, it's that biker machismo about to open up and unveil it before anybody else got to see it.
Yeah, we certainly broke out the Jack Daniels, that's for sure.
You know, that's what stinks about this digital world nowadays. You just get that bing, something's in your inbox, you click it. Boy, that would be fun to have that kind of ceremony every time.
Have a tube come in,
Yeah.
untape it, open it up, start pulling it out. Yeah, okay.
The Dave Maan print is here. Get the JD, let's go.
What kind of guy was Dave when you were around him? He was a biker too, right?
Oh, absolutely. He had this beautiful shovel head, bright red chopper that is in some of his paintings, you know. And, man, I remember him riding that thing and Jackie on the back. And one time we went up to the ranch, we called it. There was a piece of property up Calamigos Canyon that the company owned. And it was just a place to go and hang out. Well, for a long time, David and Jackie lived up there. And so we had gone up there with our video equipment to shoot this whole thing of David doing a painting that was basically about some girls in bikinis washing his red shovel head. And so he's actually doing the painting while they are washing his bike, and we're videotaping all this stuff. And see, he was really a quiet, kind of shy, reserved guy, you know, until you got him out somewhere and got him liquored up a little bit. And then, you know, he was just like any one of us, you know, but he was normally kind of shy and quiet, I would say. And the one thing, I'll tell you a secret about his paintings, and you can look at any David Maan painting.
Oh, I think I see it right now. Oh, okay, good.
What do you see?
I think I just saw a shadow of someone on the back of his bike, but there's not actually anyone on the back of his bike.
Oh, you saw that one? Yes, that's about the lost love photo. Yeah.
Oh.
He's missing her being on the back of the bike.
Well, what was your secret, Dave?
Yeah,
Come
what
on,
was
tell
your
us.
secret, sir?
Okay, every David Maan painting ever done, you can look, and he, you know, pretty much painted every nut and bolt of that motorcycle, right? There, if you look at the wheels, the front or the rear wheel on any of the bikes, there's never a valve stem. And he did that on purpose. And there are builders. There's a builder named Larry Kirk, and there's another builder named, let's see, what's his name? Donnie Lewis, great bike builder. He built a bike. He built a beautiful chopper that looked like one of Dave Maan's pictures. And he did it without a valve stem. He hit it in this, like an Invader-style front wheel. So it's got a 5-spoke wheel. He hit it inside one of those spokes, just so it would be like, oh, where's the valve stem?
It was a gotcha, huh?
Yeah. He said, well, David Maan never had it in there. I said, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he exemplified that biker lifestyle of the 60s and 70s, and, you know, that real biker, the club life biker, the real biker lifestyle. It's amazing to look at that now and magnify just to how great his artwork is, and like you said, it's universal.
Yeah, it has great power, and you know, even to this day, his artwork, it really exemplifies the biker lifestyle. And how great, what a wonderful thing that he got to turn the love of motorcycles. And, David was a 1%er. He was an El Forastero. And he lived it. He really lived it. And it shows in every one of those paintings.
Well, it definitely does, because he's got that niche. He's not out there painting guys that just bought a Harley. These are the real deal stuff. And we're just so lucky to have him in our time to be able to document this for future generations.
Ron, he was the Norman Rockwell of the biker world.
Wow.
Great way to put it.
Truly. And he passed away on September 11th, 2004. It was a day after his 64th birthday. And he rode on ahead to prepare the way for the rest of us.
Yeah, and the art will live on forever. It's really powerful, and we're real excited to be able to tell this story with you and to share it with Jared and follow his journey, helping kids and his cause. And we're going to be talking to Eric Runyon next.
All right, brother. You guys have fun.
All right.
Thank you,
Dave.
man.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, folks. And we are going to be talking about Eric Runyon next. We got a little feature on it. Now, Eric, what an amazing cat that guy is all in himself. Glad to have him on the team as well, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he makes it a lot of fun because, he is so passionate about motorcycles.
Yeah.
And he brought the idea of doing this story about the Triumph.
Yeah.
Because Ron and I didn't know about it. And Jared Weems did this incredible Triumph, and Eric knew about it, and he had been talking to Eric, and Eric had been talking to Jason, and they got this whole thing together to shoot the bike for a feature and to do all this stuff. And I mean, he's just so passionate, and he shot the photos and he wrote the article.
How about that? That's that, and another feather in our cap right there. The all new. It's like Born to Ride has been reborn. It's amazing, man. We got you, and we got these talented guys that are coming on board with us, Eric, and the whole staff. I mean, and you know what? We've really never had, but a big shout out to all of the guys. Jared back at the shop, who puts all of these clips together that you see every Tuesday night right here on my show. And I got to give a shout out to all the guys. Ron and Debbie, of course, go without saying, but all the backup guys over there at Born to Ride that are in the main office that do all the behind the scenes stuff. Man, they do a great job. And just so glad to have guys like you and Eric on the team now, just to propel this thing in even farther forward, getting more. And as soon as we get, I'll be ready to get rid of 2020, but we've got some great things on tap for Born to Ride. You and I have talked about that in past shows, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us, Dave.
Yeah, it's going to be a great ride, everybody. We're glad you're all with us on this.
Exactly. Well, Dave, I tell you what, I'm gonna let you go early. We're gonna come back in a minute. We're gonna do that clip. We got Eric Runyon who's actually talking, his thoughts on Jared and all the great things that Jared's a part of and does. And I'm gonna let you kick back with a fine cigar, maybe an adult beverage, and watch the rest of the show. I've got Mica Neal coming up on the backside of this break. We're going to talk about a great event that we're doing here locally in the Tampa Bay area called Back the Blue, and that's next right here on Born to Ride Radio. So you guys don't move.
Deep in the Virginia mountains, there's a legendary road, 32 miles long, 438 curves, rising 3,500 feet in the sky. The road awaits a one-of-a-kind motor enthusiast experience through the Appalachian Mountains in southwest Virginia. The back of the dragon.
We got Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Eric Runyon.
Eric, how are you, man? This is the photographer who kind of brought this whole story together to begin with.
The ace.
He said it's right here in Valrico. It's just down the street, man.
Yeah, honestly, it was not just right here. It was right down the street from where I live. 6 minutes from where I live. So, I like to think that I have my finger on the pulse of the chopper community. But, I kind of found out through the grapevine about this build, and then when I found out that the guy lived 6 minutes down the road from me, I about had a heart attack.
Jared has an amazing story. How did it impact you when you heard his story?
Well, it kind of slowly unfolded because, like I said, I'd heard about the bike, and I started seeing pictures and here and there on Instagram that Jared was taking himself with his cell phone. And then when I found out he was in Tampa, I thought, well, this is an opportunity for me to find out more about this guy and more about this bike and see what's really going on here. So I reached out to him, and like I said, unbeknownst to me, he's 6 minutes down the road. He invited me over to his house, and the first day I spent about 3 hours there, and he just really blew me away. He's all about God, family, and motorcycles. That bike is meticulously built. By the time I came into the scene, it was probably 90% done. I think I photographed him, putting the front end on or the front wheel or something on, but he pretty much had everything set in place. And I felt like I dropped the ball because I feel like I know everything that's going on in the area. I like to think that everything going on in the United States, I have an idea what's going on, but right down the street from me, it just blew my mind. And as I talked to him, it just became very clear that this wasn't just a guy building a motorcycle. There was a lot more behind it. And, we would talk about David Maan, and as soon as I came home the first day after talking to him, we were both going back and forth text messaging about, well, this picture was in this issue, this picture was in this issue, and this guy's building a complete David Maan database. So he taught me a lot about David Maan. So as time progressed, I went over there again, and he's like, he told me about Forgotten Angels when I first met him. And I told him that I would love to be a part of that as a photographer, at least, the little talent I have, maybe I could help somebody like you guys were talking earlier. There could be a future Arlen Ness or a future bike builder or, future David Maan. There might be a future photographer. So I thought, man, I'd like to get involved. Well, then about the time after that, when I talked to him or saw him, he said, I'm going to raffle this bike off to Forgotten Angels. And all of the proceeds are going to go to Forgotten Angels. And that just blew me away. There's a lot of raffles out there, and they kind of flood the market, and people start to roll their eyes. But this thing is a completely different, a different machine. And he's going to raise a lot of money for a great cause, and it's just mind blowing. And it's just as the days progress, the project's taking more traction, and more people are finding out about it, and more people want to be a part of it. We were really excited. We were talking about going to Born Free together and showing the world this bike and the painting. And unfortunately, they pulled the show a few days ago, but Chopper Fest will be the second week of December, which is very, it's a David Maan type thing. And so our big plan is to go out there and recreate the original image. The hot dog stand, the hot dog trailer is actually being refurbished as we speak. So we got the bikes and we got the hot dog stand, and we're going to go out there and meticulously duplicate that image. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And we're going to be able to see some of this in this issue of Born to Ride that's about to come out.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks,
Great
man.
evening.
Great job. Great job, brother.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Born to Ride Radio returns. Hey, don't forget, folks, we do this for you every Tuesday night. You can check me out here on Facebook, in Facebook land. And, of course, we've got Born to Ride Radio, Boss Hog Radio on Thursday nights. And, of course, make sure you check everything out at borntoride.com. Everything that is Born to Ride is up and about. And, again, the magazine's just been flying off the shelf. So if your favorite place doesn't have one right now, rest assured we'll be restocking them bad boys here in the coming days. But in the meantime, get online, borntoride.com, and it's got all the tabs there, and you can check it out at any time. My buddy Mike is in the house. Micah got something pretty cool dropped in his lap here a while back, and it's called Back the Blue. And Mica, welcome to the show, first of all. And give us a little details. Now, you got to get right on that microphone, man. Get right up on it. Don't be scared. People got to hear what you have to say.
All right.
Because you are doing an amazing thing for an amazing cause. So tell us about Back the Blue. What's that all about?
All right. So it's a charity poker run we are having this Saturday, August the 29th.
Right.
It starts in Clearwater, Florida at Quaker Steak and Lube.
So that's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Woohoo!
This Saturday.
All right.
4 days away. 4 days.
Clear your schedule, people.
Definitely. So we're going to start basically in Clearwater, and we're going to head down to Bradenton Police Department.
Okay.
And we'll obviously, if you've done a poker run, you know how it works. You just pull cards, and at each one of your stops. So we got 4 stops for you: Bradenton Police Department, Salty Shamrock in Apollo Beach, Stingray's Bar and Grill in Valrico, Cowboy Corral in Clearwater, and then we will end up back at Clearwater for the ceremony, the after party.
So we'll end up back at Quaker Steak?
Yes, sir. Start there and in there.
So tell me the backstory. What is the charity for? Because this is cool, people. Listen up.
So we did basically a Support the Blue ride a few months ago, probably about a month and a half ago, and that's where I came up with the idea for my motorcycle group, Tampa Bay Area Cruisers. I wanted to do something interesting, and that spawned this idea to actually have the poker run. So with meeting a lot of people at that ride I did, I was recommended a gentleman, Chris Herron, who was a retired police officer from St. Pete PD.
Okay.
And him and his wife just had a newborn daughter. Her name is Scarlett.
Okay.
And she has some heart issues, so that was pretty much what I needed, the push I needed, and the idea I needed to go ahead and get something out there and get it started. And so we came up with the poker run to raise some money for little Scarlett and help them through everything.
That's awesome. That is awesome, folks. That's what being a biker's about. That's what Born to Ride is about. Helping our community, helping our helping our fellow man. That's a great cause, guys. So listen, clear your schedule this Saturday. What time did you say things are getting started?
So registration for the actual poker run is at 12:30 to 2. So you can get there between 12:30 and 2, register, and then you can leave there and head out and start hitting the different stops.
Okay.
And all that information is on the link I just shared right there. It's on the link.
So kickstands up at what time?
Between 12:30 and 2. Last bike needs to be out by 2.
Gotcha. You got any bands going to be playing up there at the Quaker Steak?
Yeah. So after you do the stops, we're going to have an after party. So I did this poker run a little different than a lot of them. Is I'm starting this one midday.
Okay.
And I'm actually ending it at night.
All right.
So most poker runs you do them and you start at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're done by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's hot. You're standing in a parking lot or in a field. It's stagnant.
All right.
You just want to get it over with.
Right.
See who won and head to the house or head to a bar.
Right.
Well, I did this one differently. I started at midday, so you actually end in the evening when the sun's going down. And we got a live band from One Eye Jack that's playing.
Yeah.
They actually donated their time for this, folks.
Nice.
So, a friend of mine, Lori Starkey, reached out to them. She knows a lot of people. And, they donated their time. And live band, we're going to have a bunch of vendors. I think I have probably about 12 vendors, a dozen vendors right now that are going to be there at Quaker Steak and Lube for the after party.
One Eye Jack, of course, voted the band with the best hair. I'm just kidding. Calm down over there. They're going to come up and kick my butt now. I love those guys. They do a great job. They were featured on the Tampa Bay Nightlife TV show on more than one occasion. But One Eye Jack, a great rock and roll band, some great rock. And what a cool thing for them to do to donate their time to a great cause. Back the Blue, the charity poker run this Saturday from Quaker Steak and Lube. And one more time, what time they got to get out there?
12:30 to 2.
12:30 to 2. 12:30 to 2. They got a great ride. Hopefully the weather with these hurricanes going up and away from us going to pull all the bad weather out. So we'll have
that's the plan. I'm hoping.
We'll have some great stuff lined up for you. Going to be a great day. So make your plans now. to attend this Saturday. Quaker Steak and Lube. Mica, thanks for coming by, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks
You
for
got
having
it, and that's about all the time we've got. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. BornToRide.com, baby. Check everything out that has to do with motorcycles and the people that ride them, and I'll see you next week.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.